Yeah, well... We've not had any rehearsals at all, have we, for this?
So you've no idea what it's going to sound like?
No, neither have I.
Right.
But let's do it. Tommy Riddle looked for a chimney nook as winter sun were sinking. He said, I'm tired of cowering here in smoke and wasting time with thinking. It frets me heart, it racks me brew, it sets me head a stewing. I'm on as wouldn't do a foeman up and get a doing. So Mally writes me Sunday shoon for to run me bits of toes in, and on me jug off top of town, and let me poke me nose in. And Mal they fill it up again, and don't they look so dawdly. There's now gone lick a mar, look a windy brains are getting maudly. I slay the rook and neighbour lads, I frisky counts of bowdens, and we'll watch the mums and dads, and we'll have it pranked with owdens, and lads and lasses they mun sing, foot it leet and limber, and Robin Lilter mun bring his merry bit of timber. Whoop! There is recorder. And Joel come and Joan and Ben and poor out limping Elijah, and Molly and Sally and Fan and Nan and Carly petted Bijah, and gentle Charlie is here, and little Dick the Ringer, and Must and Sam I like to hear a snowy-headed singer. I spow me granny to the nook and I send for Dolly Mabel, 'cause when her's readily done to Luke as grand as Queen of Sheba. And little Nell, her dance with me, our Nellie's young and bonny, and when I've led the dance with thee, I'll caper with me granny. Whoop! So Molly fill it up again, and don't they look so dawdly. There's now gone lick a mar, like a windy brains are getting maudly. We're young and hearty, done a croak, let's frisk it now or never. And so here's good health to country folk, and country fun forever. Yep. Hey. We can do this, can't we? Let's just stop here and sing. What's the use of fretching, lads? This life's not so long. So if you gather round and try me on to song, it may show a guiding glimmer to some wanderer astray, or haply gave some poor old soul a lift on the way, a lift on the way. I'll lift on the way, or haply gave some poor old soul I'll lift on the way. There's some folk as been trudge it, and there's some folk as may ride, but ne'er a mortal man can tell what chance may betide. Today he may be blossoming like roses in May. Stop laughing. Tomorrow he may be begging for a lift on the way, a lift on the way, a lift on the way. Tomorrow he may be begging for a lift on the way. I can't sing anymore. So jog on, me noble comrades, then so must it be. As hand in hand we'll travel till the day as we die. So now to end these ditty lads, let's heartily pray that heaven make yours everyone a lift on the way, a lift on the way, a lift on the way, that heaven make yours everyone a lift on the way. It's not even a comic song.
Two keys at the same time.
Two keys?
We've sang that shame.
For the money bunch. Upwards.
Oh, sorry about that.
Excelsior. Who were it wrong key then? Can't be me. Our lady.
John, rescue me.
That's how it shall be as you go. I wish I was on yonder moor and my good dog with me. Through the bonny heather flower, wading wild and free. Wild and free, wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Oh, the wilderness is my delight, where the whirring red grouse springs from his heathery nest on the mountain's breast, with the dew upon his wings. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. At the gloaming hour in grove and bower, the throstle chants with glee, but the plover sings his evening hymn to the lone waste wild and free. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. On the heathy hills I'll take my rest, and there my bed shall be, with the lady fern above my breast, waving wild and free. Wild and free, free, where the moorland breezes blow. On the heathy hill I'll take my rest, and there my bed shall be, with the lady fern above my breast, waving wild and free. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. I wish I was on yonder moor, and my good dog with me, through the bonny heather flower, wading wild and free. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Wild and free, where the moorland breezes blow. Wild and free.
Wild and free.
Wild and free.
Wild and free, that's us. We're all a bit wild and we're not charging for it. Hopping out while I told him interesting places, filming the river, back at Cow and bit further. I took all evening that. And that day after, I was in Wigan, I'm commentator, I'm in commentary box. And so he come along to film me doing that and all.
And silver bells, to welcome thee, are all swing upon the dewy fells. To sing with thee I should be fain, oh heart of blithe and free, but love has bound me with a chain that wrings the heart of me. Oh hasten to my love and tell her how she makes me pine, and ask her if she thinks it well to slight a heart like mine. For if my suit her scorn doth move, it shall no longer be, although I know she's made for love, and I wish that she loved me.
I can never find it because I get the Looks like a gun emplacement or something.
Pointing the wrong way. Yorkshire's over there.
And it's all about, well, I've just found the notes that we had 10 years ago, because we had a consultant.
Have you ever been in that building? Not inside, I've only been outside it to pick up standing frame.
Come on to windy moors with me, and let worlds slur away, and you'll ne'er want or need to dig afore you're oud and grey. Climb through your holes where the lies, black foul be every turn, and sit with me to watch it rise, and dash it music down. Leave rusty forge and sweaty mill, break wall and smoky flue, with breath from heaven your windpipes fill, and wash yourselves adieu. Like layrocks in rid cages put to sing the hearts away, if slate and stone your souls are shut, and pines that leave today, bowed flutters bluebells bannet spear, Yes, painted carpets spread. There's gold and silver line here, enough for all folk bread. Here's rest and length and merry days, for on it'll look, and beauty's odd winding ways in many a flower-pelt nook. Come on to moors and leave your work, and let him slave at will. It gutters where death creeps to mark, who next he's bound to kill. Come up where your four elders come, crawl out at valleys deep, and lapped its scent to hawthorn bloom, live all that ends is sleep. And sound, unbroken sleep you'll have, aboon world's roaring strife, and get more quietness at grave, nor ain your fundy life.
I've never heard four elders before.
Oh, get away, yeah?
I've read that poem.
Yeah, it's a lovely poem.
Oh.
Yeah. Home all you lads that wander free, upon the mountains wild, that love sweet nature's liberty, and will not be beguiled. With you as blithe and moorland wind, I'll rove by hill and glen. Life's greatest bliss we oft shall find, far from haunts of men. Then let the winds blow high or low, beneath the changeful sky, this world so fine shall be all mine, until the day I die. I care not for the stately hall, it is no place for me. My purse is light, my wants are small, my heart is fain and free. In lowly nest I take my rest, and shelter from the cold. I bend to no man's hearty crest, I envy no man's gold. The king may wear his jewelled crown upon a weary head, the couch on which he lays him down may be sleepless bed. The massive walls of Kirtland halls may close him in with care. In nightly towers and guarded bowers, black grief may find him there. For me o'erhead the heavens are spread, with hill and dale below, each murmuring stream, each sunny gleam, and all the winds that blow. Where I stray my lowly way, strewn with delight I find, greatest wealth is rustic health, my bliss a perfect mind. For me, poised mantle green, glad nature decks the spring. For me, amidst the vernal scene, happy wild birds sing. For my delight, each lovely sight, the changing season thrills. For me, the wild breeze, day and night, harps upon heathery hills.
You see?
That's
There's a tune
Mountaineer's,
for that, Julie.
Mountaineer's song.
Oh yeah, we
There's a tune for
tried
that.
that
Day, 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 day. Day, 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 day. It's very sort of Sullivan-esque, isn't it?
Oh, aye, yeah. Yeah.
Off the rails. They're on the rails.
when are we coming back?
It's everything else, isn't it? My library. Cling and green moss over me creep, and the wild sweet moorland breezes sing above my slumbers sweet. Ned Waff, last verse of the Moorland Breeze. Hey, Ned. He's gone, but not forgotten. He's not so far up there now.
Is that it then?
Well, that's
drink
it,
corner.
up there, yeah.
It's only about
In a brew.
We stop at the picnic.
Yeah, we're stopping at Forge. For we're bagging because it's nearly 1 o'clock.
Yeah, Mr.
Time in here is perfect. Go on, hit
It's
it.
only because it started I wandered and it's a bit like daffodils, but I'm not sure how it's going. Anyway, the captain's friends. I wandered down by yonder park one quiet autumn day, when many a humble traveller was going on the way. And there I saw a company of neighbours, great and small, all gathered round an ancient gate that leads unto the hall. The faded leaves that rustled in the mournful autumn wind awoke me in a train of thought that saddened all my mind. And through the crowd of anxious folk there went a smothered wail. So I sat me down upon a stone and hearkened to the tale. The sturdy farmer from his fields had hurried to the place, the cripple on his crutches and the sick with pallid face. The poor old dame had wandered with her blind man to the ground, and the lonely widow weeping with her children gathered round. The well-remembered beggar too was there, but not to beg, and the stiff old Chelsea pensioner upon a wooden leg. From hamlet fold and lonely cot, the humble poor were there, each bringing in his moistened eye a tributary tear. Up spake the sturdy farmer to the porter, and he said, "What news is this that's going round? They say the captain's dead." The quaint old porter laughed. "Ah, thank God it isn't true, but it's the captain's dog that's dead. They called it Captain too." Then sprang the cripple on his crutch and nearly came to ground, and the blind man wandered to and fro and shook their hands all round. And the dame took snuff, the sick man smiled and blessed the happy day, and the widow kissed her young ones as she wiped their tears away. And up rode the children's voices, mingling music with the gale, and the beggar's dog romped with them as he barked and wagged his tail. And the farmer slapped his thumbs and cried, "Come on, I'll feast you all." And the stark old soldier with his stick kept charging at the wall. So now the captain's dog is dead and sleeping in the ground. A kind old master by the grave bemoans his gallant hound. He says, "My hair is white and thin, I have not long to stay, and oh, my poor old dog, how I shall miss thee on the way." Then here's to every noble heart that's gentle, just and brave, that cannot be a tyrant and that grieves to see a slave. God save the good old Captain Long and bring his soul to joy. The countryside will lose a friend the day he comes to die. Thank you.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah, I can't say I've been up there. I've been going to the Ribble Show one. You know, there's one next door to us.
Yeah.
For my uncle, he's out of the war. And then it's the cousin, it's a cousin that kept his hands out. Is it?
Stick your head in it.
I don't know. I presume so.
Oh, it makes you think like that's going on.
Yeah,
It's
lovely.
always running.
Every time I turn round, it's still back.
Oh, me darling, oh, me darling, oh, me darling, Clementine.
As long as you stay away from the draw.
Are we doing it or not? Which boat? Have you got a boat? You can't remember it, can you?
I've just mended by a little hop, a swaddler's growth in her shoe. There's some nice bacon collops on top, and a quart of real sausage too. I've brought it up for the sun off, for the rain's coming down very bleak, and fast storms and the white as new snow. Come one to the children and me, and fast storms as white as new snow. Come one to the children and me. When I put little Sally to bed, who cried 'cause her father weren't here, so I kissed little thing and I said, "Dad, bring her a ribbon from there." And I gave her a doll and some rags, and a nice little white cotton bow. And I kissed her again, but he said, not who wanted to kiss thee and all.
And I kissed her again, but her father wanted to kiss thee and all.
And Dick too had such work with him, afore I could get him upstairs. He told me that bring him a drum.
He said
when he was saying his prayers. And he looked in my face and he said, "Ask Boggart's getting out of me dad." And he cried till his een were quite red. He likes me some real just young lad. And he cried till his een were quite red. He likes me some real just young lad. At long length I did and laid still, and I sat down to knit in my chair.
At long length I gave him my still, and
And folks' feeters went by, and I ironed all my flowers right well,
and I hanged them
not
on
maiden to dry.
There sat down to knit in my chair. That's woman's part, I don't generally. Do not fall down that bloody hill, you.
Oh,
Where a long length I gave some lead still, and I hearkened folks' feeters went by, and then I ironed me clothes right well, and I hanged them on maiden to dry. And then I mended the stockings and shirts, and I sat down to knit in my chair, and I really did feel rather hurt. I'm only when thou art there, and I really did feel rather hurt. I'm only when thou art there. I have a drum, I have a trumpet for Dick, I have a yard of blue ribbon for Sal, I've a book full of bobs and a stick, and some baccy and pipes for myself. I've brought me some coffee and tea, and if they'll root in my pocket, they'll see, as I have brought thou a new cap today, lass, I always bring summat for thee. I have brought thou a new cap today, lass, I always bring summat for thee. God bless thee, me lass, I'll come home, and I'll kiss thee and childer all round. No matter however I roam, I'm fain to get back to town grand. I can do a crack or a glass, I can do a bit of a spree, but I have no greatly comfort, me lass, except with young children and thee. I have no greatly comfort, me lass, except with young children and thee. Hey, I'm gonna put this on again. This is like a monitor speaker system here, and it plays it all back into your ears.
You send the film to the RSPCA or
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
free.
The last time I drank that, he chucked it all over me.
Yeah. Which is going down there, and if you look from over here, you can see where your tramway goes across that field and curves all the way around, comes out of this cutting, goes all round an embankment and disappears into the valley down there.
Fountain, yonder moorland hills among, from the heather-breasted mountain, tinkling drips its liquid song. To its lonely music listening, once a maiden sat thereby. Oh, that maiden's dark eye glistening, it will haunt me till I die. In that fragrant wild seclusion, with the soaring lark above, blooming nature's glad profusion, listen to our vows of love. Sunny skies and flowers around us, oh, my rustic darling smiled, and the dewy twilight found us, lingering still amid the wild. O mild hour when Eve's lone planet gilds the pearls on every blade, angel zephyrs came to fan it, blissful hour of mystic shade. Sweet the wild birds' trilling vespers died upon the dewy lea, but my darling's gentle whispers nevermore will fade from me. Ah, that scene is now too saddening, saddest in its richest bloom. Summer flowers, the wild hills gladdening, move my heart to deeper gloom. Birds may hail the scented blossom, oft on smiling hill and plain, but the green earth's silent bosom never will yield my love again. thus to meet thee, but to sever, thus to love, and then to part. All the bliss, the pain, forever mingling in my lonely heart. All those lovely glances darting, modest gleams of timid glee. Oh, the sad hour of parting, 'tween my own true love and me. Farewell to yon breezy mountain, farewell to the flowery dell, farewell to the rindling fountain, and the lonely moorland well. Farewell to the streamlet purling sweetly through yonder silent glen. Oh, farewell, the dark-eyed darling I shall never see again.
Oh.
It's a lovely writer though, isn't he?
Paul was so taken with that
No,
he
he's
started
crying.
renting his raiment. They used to do this in the 60s, didn't they? For an art installation, weren't it?
Was that ready to burn you? Well, everyone's burning the bras now because of lockdown. These women are all walking around with their bras. They're going to be going bare-chested in the nudes. Do you want to read? Are you a sewer? Oh, I said. Will he sew that, or will he ask you to sew it? Or will he just chuck the shirt around at the end of the day?
It's just a short sleeve shirt.
Scarecrow. This is the Victorian quarryman, Lou. Reliving the dream.
One way to get your arms sunburned.
At least he's not got the shorts on him. Otherwise, we've got big rip.
Yeah, well, they started off as long trousers this morning.
Well, yeah, I know, with a sort of liking for ripping things, like, as you say, the Great Hulk.
Without the right equipment. Are you there or what?
No, she's
No?
not.
I mean, she'd been banana to
To a poem.
Giddles.
This is a poem that Sally wrote because she couldn't come today. So it's called Warswell Walk 2021. I wish I could be there walking with you over at the fells, but I can't. That's because I'm not feeling very well. I can look right through my window and see the hills are green, and I'll know that they'll be there, though I surely can't be seen. But I'll be there in spirit, you know. Siddle will know be lagging, as there recites Ned Waff's poems as they tucks into the bagging. We always had a concert, but that doesn't need to know that for sure. But that doesn't need that now for sure. When they can sing a merry tune while gazing over Scout Moor. I can listen to birds singing like laycocks merry shrill, and see the purple heather blooming as the rambles o'er yon hill. And enjoy thistles and laugh and joke and sing a merry tune. And what is more, I wish you they all a very happy afternoon.
Yay! Thank you, Sally.
Thank you,
She's
Sally.
over there somewhere.
Toddling along content and can't with me head in me hand to me feet in me shoe. I'm toddling along bit late at noon.
I'm fair to be toddling one. Bom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bom, bom. Toddling one but fireside bliss. Toddling one but children's kiss. God bless yon bitter curling smoke. God bless yon rosy chimney new.
I'm fair to be toddling one.
Toddling one but twittering tongues. Toddling one but prattling songs. Toddling one to sing to rest.
With wife and little British nest. I'm fair to be toddling one. Right.